What to do if you reach that stage of a PhD in which you are just in survival mode? You just want the thing to be done. You just want it to be over. You don't want to even think about it. Just thinking about it makes you feel sick and you're like, I am so done with this. So if you are in that stage of your PhD, this video is for you. I want to discuss this a little bit because I was recently talking to a client of mine about that specific issue. She was telling me that she is just so exhausted and she is just feeling sick, like physically sick from taking a look at her research and putting it together and wrapping up the thesis and so on. And we were kind of discussing that thing and what are the causes of that? Like, why does this happen? And in my opinion, it happens because research has this thing that it is never quite done. And you can only deal with not being done with something so much. Like at some point you are going to break and you're going to say, I need a sense of completeness. I need some sort of a sense that my work is worth something. I need a physical manifestation of my work. And I feel personally that this is one of the hardest part of the PhD, because you are sort of in this situation in which you have been working so much and yet you have nothing to prove for it. So it can be a quite frustrating situation, which then makes you turns you into this survival mode in which you just want to get over with it and you just want it to get done. But how can we get out of survival mode and not freeze, but actually take some action? So as I said, this happens because research doesn't feel complete ever, basically, until you decide it feels complete. But we can use the fact that we can decide what feels complete to our advantage. Specifically, one of the strategies that I always apply when it comes to my clients who come to me and say, look, I'm super lost with my research, I don't know, I have so many threads everywhere and I don't know how to tie them together into something that makes sense. The first thing that I always do is say, look, we need to bring some structure to that thing. We need to make sense of the research that you already have. And we go through the entire research that they did, the results, the data, the plots, everything. And we say, okay, how can we put this together into something that makes sense? And just doing that exercise and just finding that narrative, even if it's a loose story at the beginning, finding that narrative that your research is following is already going to give you a sense of control and already going to give you a sense of completeness, which is super important in the PhD journey because, as I said, we feel that nothing is ever done. So just doing that is already going to provide you like, okay, I've got this, a sense of control, I know what I have, I know where I'm going, and I know how am I going to get there. So this is basically the entire idea of that thing. So if you are in that stage of your PhD in which you are feeling that you are in survival mode, you feel that you are just reacting to things, you have this never-ending to-do list that you don't know actually if it's going to move you forward and how, and you feel that there are so many results that you just don't know what to do with them and how to make sense of them so that you can finally start writing your thesis, writing your paper, and so on, I want to invite you to schedule a completely free intro coaching call with me. I will leave a link down below in the description. And in that call, we can discuss exactly where you're at with your research, what are some current challenges, current struggles that you're experiencing, whether that's feeling stuck or not knowing how to move forward, or I don't know, your supervisor disappeared and doesn't offer any support, and so on. And we can establish your exact next steps that are going to bring you closer to that finish line, that thesis, that paper, whether on your own or with my help and support. So if this is you right now, I invite you to schedule the call. And of course, thank you very much for watching this video and see you next time, I think in a few days again. Bye bye.